Okay, feminism has got to die. I've just been for a run, and I saw a lot of things that I usually see, and I want to make a report on it. What I see nowadays is women and men walking around as couples, and the woman is leading the man around, and the man's like this, like some kind of zombie. And that is even when the guy is a man, and I can tell he's a man, as opposed to just a male who hasn't reached manhood yet. Or when I say reach manhood, I mean become a proper man. And there's a lot of them. And I am going to claim authority here. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, who are you to say this? I don't care anymore, okay? I know what manhood is. I've got it. I work on it all the time as a man. I mean, we just generally, you keep it up, so to speak. And then there are males who haven't gone through something. There's something they haven't gone through that has made them face fear, or face themselves, or face something that's made them dig deep and find an inner toughness of some kind. These guys, you could literally walk up to them in the street and just push them over with your finger. Now, it's just their demeanour. There's something that hasn't been brought out from them, from within. And but the thing is, also guys who you can see probably do have a fair handle on manhood, they're still trudging along. And I tell you, when I was a lad, I'm 44 now. When I was a lad of about, I don't know, between say 15 and 20 odd, if I saw another man around, it was rare to see what I now describe as just males, who just, they're wishy-washy, flippy-floppy, namby-pamby, airy-fairy. I don't know what to call them. I don't even want to call them wimps. They're just men who haven't been made into, or males that haven't been made into men yet. So the women cannot possibly be satisfied by a man in that condition, or a male in that. They cannot possibly be satisfied or really attracted to that man in a sort of, oh, cutie kind of way, maybe, but she'll never look at him and be like, wow, that's a man. So how do I put this? I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing men, or males, even men sometimes, carrying the baby on the chest. Look, once in a while, a dude can do it, right? He can carry his baby on the thing, and he can carry, but it's ubiquitous, i.e., everywhere now. And I'm just so tired of seeing it. It's like I've reached adulthood and I've had a child, and I was raised in the new man era, and this is what we were expected to do, so baby goes here. And then the wife's walking along beside him like, sort of, I don't know what she's doing. Now, you can call me sexist as much as you want. I will proudly not care what you say, because I'm observing reality. You guys are in loony land. Okay, it's the truth. What needs to happen, and I guarantee this will fix the problem in a heartbeat, is national service. And I don't mean just 18-year-olds now. I mean every single male in the country, no matter what age, must be put through something to make a man of him. I guarantee you the men of this country will say yes to that option. Even the guys who maybe 20 years ago were still flippy-floppy, like, oh no man, they'll be like, no, I've also had enough. And this is the tipping point where feminism dies. Because I also say that the majority of women can see it too. But because women are not the leaders of society, no, you're not. Okay, you're not. It's up to men. Okay, that's our responsibility. Doesn't mean that we can't include women in some way, but it's up to us. And women know this. In their hearts, they know this. It's up to a man to step up. It's not up to the woman to go, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's not up to a woman. It's up to a man to step up and say, enough's enough. That's reality. Okay? Now, a male might find the guts within himself at some point in his life to do that on behalf of his family or his woman or his society, and all of a sudden his woman will go from, yeah, I've got a husband, to, I've got a man. So there's something, a man has to have backbone, resilience, resistance. He has to be someone who stands up for something, truly, otherwise he's not a man. And that's the bare truth of it. Okay, so a lot of women are walking around with these wishy-washy fellas who basically are just wandering around unled. Now, among men, there are also leaders and there are followers, but you can encourage leadership potential in men. You can encourage them to be their best and look within themselves for that which is within them, which is their manhood. So, yeah, I'm just tired of seeing it. I literally, when I'm running along or jogging along or whatever, and I see one of these cops, I literally roll my eyes, and sometimes I can see the woman sort of like agreeing with me, like some sort of like in her, something in her body language says, yes, I know. And that's even the cocky women too, you know, the bolshy women who are a bit gobby, you know. You can tell, you know, you sort of pass a comment and she's the one who responds because she's got the guts in the relationship. And that's human. That's normal for humans. We judge each other as we're walking around looking at each other, and that's what I see. So I've also noticed now dogs are everywhere. It's like Dogageddon, okay? And I would say 80% of the dogs nowadays are being walked along by women. And also I would say 80% of the dogs are these little weird things, yippy things that are feminine dogs that dudes have. Now, once in a while, a dude who is a proper man can get one of those little dogs, and it kind of makes sense. He's like, I got nothing to prove, dude. I'm just going to get a little yappy dog. It's kind of like a joke in a way, but it's acceptable. But usually, you can tell that this little yappy dog has been imposed upon the man by his missus. And you can see this guy, and he's like, I don't know how to deal with this because the television says I have to treat my wife as an equal. I have to call her a partner, which completely obliterates the male-female dynamic. And I've got this little yappy dog, which I really just want to put in the toaster and watch pop up after 5 minutes. And I don't want it around me. I've got to walk around with it, pick up its, you know, and you can just tell that this guy's like, where did I go wrong? And it's not his fault. It's not him. It's feminism, which has affected society, and the insert expletive here, people who have been pushing this stuff. And it ain't women. Women have been involved, but it ain't women who created feminism. Right? You can look into its origins and you'll find, if you actually look hard enough, where it really came from. But it's garbage. It's garbage. I flatly state that unreservedly. When I started to talk about this, I kind of had a little bit of like, I was tentative about it, but now I'm full in. I'm all in, hands down, cards on the table, open season. Feminism has got to die. It will die in my lifetime, on my watch. Alright? Because I'm not going to allow it to continue in my society. Every male or man I talk to them about this nonsense. I highlight the nonsense that they see around themselves. So, that's the mainstay of this video. Feminism has got to die, and it will die, and I will kill it. And there will be, I'm sure, other people who will also kill it, and some of them will be women. Many of them will be women, because I would say that, again, women don't want wishy-washy, namby-pamby, airy-flairy, flippy-floppy men. They don't want that. A man's supposed to be the person upon whom she can depend. Not supposed to be the guy. He's not supposed to be following her around, and she's not supposed to be ruling the roost. Yes, you get some overbearing and domineering women. You do. That's always been the case, right? But by and large, even those women, now and then, they want a man to really put them in their place. And that doesn't violence. No, it means they just need to know. And those women, even then, they sort of have a little fluttery moment where they're like, oh, a proper man. because they're used to getting their own way. What they're really doing is trying to find real men. They're trying to push the men around them and say, where are the real men? That's what they're trying to do when they're gobby, when they've got attitude with them. And if you're a wishy-washy guy, they'll steamroll you. So this is what I'm noticing around myself in society, the society I grew up in, the society I love, the society I'm proud of, the society that produced the greatest people this planet has ever seen. And I don't care what the television nonsense is telling you, it's the truth. The British are the best. We built this world. Try and deny it. Okay, so the point is that we need to fix this stuff. So we need to fix it male by male, man by man. And women, I think the best thing women can do is try to sort of stand to the side or encourage, or I don't know. Really what needs to happen is bands of men need to go house to house, grabbing each male or man by the scruff of his neck, dragging him out to the bush somewhere and making a man of him, and then bringing him back to his wife, at which point he drags his knuckles over the threshold and says, okay honey, I'm home. And she's like, what the hell happened to you? And he's like, I'm not saying he has to be a gorilla, but I'm just saying that he has to be a man. And that will be the solution to this society's problems. So on a political bent, really, I think we do need a more militarized society. That's not to say that I want to go do anything with this current Iran thing. I want nothing to do with that, because it's not a British war. It's not even an American war. We all know whose war it really is. And America's just the puppet of the puppet masters who really want to douche Iran. I'm not interested on fighting anything on behalf of them. On behalf of Britain, I will fight to the death. But not on behalf of these internationalist freaks who just want to mess around in the Middle East. If we want to mess around in the Middle East, that's our lookout. All right? But at the end of the First World War, we did something in Palestine that we really shouldn't have done, and we are now reaping the problems from that. Anyway, the point is that all this kind of thing all goes together. What we really need is a strongly nationalist country. And that doesn't mean we've got to nationalise all the industries and blah blah blah. What it means is patriotic. A patriotic country, okay? And because the same people who are causing most of the problems in the world are in control of our media, well, we're all being told that we need to be soft, that we need to be ashamed of our history. No! That needs to be obliterated, okay? We have the most proud, shining history of any nation on the planet. And you know what? I would advise every other country in the world to act likewise. Find the most shining, proud moments in their own history and focus on them. Because that's confidence. That's positivity. That's what I would advise every country to do that. Indonesia, Mali, whatever. Just find the bits of your history that you're really proud of and focus on them. Now, we've got an abundance in this country, but the media is telling us, oh, yes, we should be guilty and we should be ashamed. The last thing we should be is ashamed. You know what we should be ashamed of? Is pulling out of all those African countries and watching the people there go, what do we do now? And us going, well, that's that. We need greater involvement in those countries. And you can say what you like. The fact is that without us, Europeans involved, the people there don't know what they're doing, with respect to them. Even the most educated, the educated guys get their heads blown off if they try and go against the corrupt regimes. They all send their kids here after they're educated anyway, and sometimes to get educated. Those countries are a trash heap, and it's no disrespect to the people there. It's just they don't know what they're doing, and they are being fleeced through the back door, and they know it. They don't need us just withdrawing and leaving them be, because then the Chinese and the Russians come in anyway. And so Britain's sitting on our backside going, whoa, what do we do? Well, first step, kill feminism. Get our boys, our men, to be men. Then we'll have a stronger country. Then we'll have more say in the world. And we won't get flippy-floppy, wishy-washy men wandering around going, carrying little dogs that they really just want to throw in a bush. End of sermon.